So anyway, you know there's a Tesla in space?
What?
Yeah.
No.
One of like a few years back, Elon just strapped a Tesla to one of his rockets. There's a
What?
Tesla in near Earth orbit that eventually is just gonna fall. Like not soon, but at some point, a Tesla
Oh.
is gonna fall out of the sky like a meteor, a
Well, I
very
mean,
small meteor.
it's probably gonna burn up in the atmosphere before it hits
I
Earth.
mean, yeah, but it's still really funny to think about a Tesla just landing on someone's house.
Yeah.
Like, imagine being that. Like, could you sue him?
Oh yeah.
Like, is the statute of limitations applied on when it fell or when it was put up there?
Yeah.
When it's up there, does it count as his property? Because you're not allowed to own property in space.
Yeah.
Hmm. Are the keys to the Tesla on Earth or up in space with the car?
That's a good question.
Because what if an alien got the keys to the Tesla and there's just this random alien driving a Tesla somehow?
Imagine if aliens came, the first thing they find is a Tesla. I'd be more disappointed than anything. They just saw a Tesla, took it, and left. No more abducting cows. We're abducting vehicles now.
Does that mean technically NASA could like just take that Tesla in space and then when it like they're on back on Earth, they could just claim it as their own?
Yeah, I guess that. I think it probably depends on where it falls.
Oh yeah.
There's a very distinct chance it falls on over the ocean. Probably only parts of it will actually land, but distinct chance it falls over the ocean. But it could also fall to a different space agency if it's in like not in the United States. China has a big space program.
Mm.
Anyway,
I hope so.
are y'all ready to Dungeons and Dragons?
Welcome, Sojourners. You have found yourself a cozy place here at Sojourners Awake. I'm Jonathan, and you are listening to Tabletop Stories podcast, where we tell stories and roll dice. Welcome to Halimesis, a homebrewed world of magic and adventure. You are listening to the season Trial by Combat. Follow along with our brave Sojourners through exploration, danger, and drama. Trial by Combat is a 5th edition adventure. Our Sojourners are Mousewell the Chahua Cleric, Eandros the Cyclops Sorcerer, and Off the Sand Dwarf Rogue. Thank you to Jackson, our Dungeon Master, for providing an excellent game. And so for now, our story continues. Background music and ambiance provided by Tabletop Audio. Discover them at www.tabletopaudio.com.
Alright. I am assuming we need a recap of last session.
Yes, please.
Uh,
Now, you may or may not have accidentally informed me that you've actually been taking notes. Like a weirdo. Who does that?
I took notes.
This isn't school. Anyway, Maxwell, I think it's gonna be your turn to read the recap. Sorry, say it again. Maxwell. Oh no, I've cursed her.
The Tesla fell.
Can we leave that in as just a blooper at the end of the episode? Just the Tesla conversation. Did the Tesla fall on you?
Um, yeah, it's in my backyard right now. It's on fire.
Yeah. Well, anyway. I'm gonna risk cursing you again. Hey, Maxwell, you want to read us the recap? Every stutter.
Okay. Wow, these are some very sketchy notes. So this is like my character's journal that was taken after the meeting. Um, yes. So, as chaos ensues in the tavern, I rest, tired after a long day. I am awoken in the middle of the night by Yandros screaming about a nightmare he had. Really annoying. I go back to bed, irritated, but then there's this weird weeping angel statue in the tavern. I suggest we get breakfast and then leave. Oh, sorry. What, what should I call it then? Sorry. Then I, then there's this weird Empyrean effigy statue in the tavern. I suggest we get breakfast and then leave. When we get downstairs, I approach the guards rather violently, and they inform us that they saw an effigy climbing a warehouse around midnight last night. That's odd. Then we go to Pyraxis, and we give him what she was asking for. He got a really deep wait, what? He's got a really deep voice and also asked us to kneel, which is weird, but whatever, dude. 1,000 gold, and I get an amulet of health. so I hopefully stop stupidly dying. He tells us to grow stronger, and I'm all for that. So I guess we're gonna do that now. We're heading. My heading is awful. We're heading to the Acheron. Is that how you pronounce it? Desert, so Oth can settle some business. Sure what he needs to do, but we're in the salt mines. Then we see another statue that isn't covering their eyes this time. We keep avoid them, but it's like they are always there. Then this giant, semi-transparent, angel-like creature approaches us and starts nagging us about working for his father. He says his name is Spoonbeak and informed me I have a track in me, which is kinda weird. He keeps yapping, and so I throw the rune at his face. He wasn't too happy about it. Then this giant fight breaks out. Lightning strikes him. I cast a spell that summons thousands
Oh, the curse is back.
to eat him alive, and we all seem to do a pretty good job of weakening him. And then I pass out and I'm dead now. Where did we leave off?
Yapping.
Yapping. He keeps yapping, and so I throw the rune at his face. He wasn't too happy about that. Then this giant fight breaks out. Lightning strikes him. I cast a spell that summons thousands of insects to eat him alive, and we all seem to do a pretty good job weakening him. And then I pass out unconscious. I wake up to Mr. Death Angel hovering above me. Then thank the stars, Oth was able to save me with a healing potion. Then after more intense fighting, I cast one more spell and throw the tracking rune at his head as he is obliterated and turns to ash. The end.
The end. And as we come to see our adventurers resting after that very laborious fight, as the many Empyrean effigies that had surrounded the battlefield crumbled to dust. We see our party staking out their campground for the evening. What are English? Just as a reminder, y'all are kind of on a little bit of beachfront. What is everyone doing to prepare for their rest? We'll start with Yandros.
I'm just like setting up my just area of the camp.
Nobel Prize for Literature on that one. Oth, what are you doing to set up?
Probably just resting and cleaning some weapons.
Alright, and Maxwell?
Is there any food source nearby that I can get for the group?
Uh, you can probably go hunt. You can probably hunt something.
Alrighty, I would like to do that.
Let's go ahead and make that a survival check.
12.
Now, I would like to remind y'all that Yandros is an outlander. His background feature is it's already very sufficient for this.
Yandros, would you like to help me, please?
All right, Yandros, as an outlander, with your background, you are able to just passively gather enough food for yourself and up to 5 others, provided the land offers. Which you are able to scrounge up just a little you find like a little berry bush, and you also find a few hairs. The animal, not the thing on your head. But yeah, you're able to scavenge enough food for you, your friends, and your second to last, and your magically summoned companion. Yes, as y'all are sitting down to eat, you eat your food, you rest up, and y'all are able to successfully complete a long rest. Is there anything anyone wants to do before we cut to the next morning?
No.
Anything? Okay. Then, as our adventurers bed down for the evening, they get a very nice and well-earned rest. And as you wake up in the morning, I assume you'll do shifts on watch.
No.
In the morning, Yandros, your companion shakes you awake and says, "Hey, who's that?
Who's what?
The guy who just teleported onto the hill?"
I'm going to wake everyone else up to tell them this.
It's like a chewy-looking guy.
Okay, we should probably wake the others up just in case if it's a hostile person.
All right, I'll go get the angry one, as he will go and wake you up now as well.
What?
Guy on hill
Who? Where?
over there. I don't know. He just appeared out of thin air.
Do you know him?
I don't know. That's why I was getting y'all up.
Where? Who are you?
I'm Yandros' friend.
Oh. Yandros, is this your friend?
Yes.
Well, tell your friend to give me some more time to sleep.
No, I think we should take care of the current problem because, look over at that hill. There's,
As you look on the hill, you see this person walking towards y'all. Go and roll me a perception check. Those of you that are awake.
okay.
As he wakes you up off.
Oh, okay.
17.
17?
Unnatural 20.
Okay, y'all recognize the figure as Ezra Thornweaver, the wizard who works for Pyroxis that has done a little bit of teleporting on his behalf for y'all.
Oh, him.
And says, "Hey, over here!" As he's just starts, he's walking towards your campsite. As he arrives, he's super out of breath. And he's like, "Okay, stuff has happened. A lot of stuff has happened. A lot of stuff. We need y'all.
What stuff exactly?
How important is this? Because I was in the middle of a nice rest.
Sorry, I gotta get back into the voice. Very, very, like, crucial, like, of dire import. You know how Pyraxis is on that council of dragonkind, right? Well, they've been called into emergency session.
That's not good.
Apparently they felt a very strong demonic presence, or diabolic presence in Herrinbill's lair, and he's not been seen since.
So he's gone.
Yes. Y'all have been summoned by the council.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
So if y'all have any nice formal clothes, now would be the time. I'm going to get the teleportation circle. I lost my other spellbook. I don't have word of recall anymore. I'm working on it. As he goes,
Hold on, didn't we get a spellbook from that guy?
I believe so. Did we ever determine what spells were on it?
No.
Nope.
Um.
Just pick like a few spells that you really like.
Anything?
Just anything of the level you can cast, or of anything that like a level 10 wizard would be able to cast.
Well, I don't have a book with me of like what those spells would be. Like,
Don't worry about it right now. Do you?
okay.
We'll say it had. I don't remember what spells he used. I know he had counterspell. I believed he had animate dead.
Okay.
I believe he had animate objects. I know he had Rory's telepathic bond. And I know he had
Okay.
what's it called? Sickening Radiance.
Okay.
I don't remember what other spells I gave him, but I know he had those ones.
I mean, we could give it to him.
It doesn't have any teleportations. It doesn't have a particular spell, but he's going to spend about 10 minutes drawing a circle on the ground, like a sigil to cast teleportation circle.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah. I don't suppose any of you have formal clothing.
No.
Nope.
Understandable. It has been very hectic. How's y'all's past week been?
It's been awful. Oh my goodness. It honestly, I don't think I've had a worse week of my life.
Question: would y'all have moved the corpse of what was his name? I forgot his name.
Spoonbeak?
Son of Heron, Spoonbeak. Thank you. Have y'all moved the corpse of Spoonbeak, or is it just still laying on the ground?
Still laying on.
And oh, what's what happened there? Drawing sigils.
Yeah, it's just there.
Bad guy, I hope.
Yeah.
Our week.
Almost done here. So, yeah. All right, sigil's done. As he is all right. Everybody line up next to the sigil. Well, you'll have about 6 seconds to run through it,
Okay.
and make sure you have all your stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I don't. Is that body important?
I mean, yeah.
Not to me, it isn't.
That's fine. All right. 3, 2, 1. As he chants his magic words, and the sigil lights up and says "Go!" as he runs through the into the light and disappears.
I'll follow.
I'll follow.
What happens if I don't follow?
you you have to spend another 10 minutes making a new sigil to come get you? No. You're not gonna do it, are you?
Last minute I realized I hadn't packed up the stuff that I used to sleep. And so in turning back to go get my sleeping stuff, I forget to run through within those 6 seconds.
Okay, so the two of you, Yandros and Yandros' companion, walk through the circle. You turn around. You've gone from what looks like a beach next to just open plains to this like really rocky beach, next to like a very very lush jungle, and looks more like you're either on the end of a peninsula or the tip of an island or like coastline. You can see the ocean expands around you. As Ezra looks around and is like, I said 6 seconds. Did I not say 6 seconds?
No, you said it. You probably forgot something.
All right. As he goes and draws a new circle, once again making very awkward small talk. As he opens the circle, runs through, as Mousewell, you see him appear on that hill again. As he starts running back down the hill towards the campsite. Have you finished packing everything, or are you still...
He's just eating now.
You still packing, or have you packed by this point?
Yep.
Just eating?
My stuff is packed, but there's like a little fire going now, and I'm like frying something. Just having the time of my life.
Okay. You're just eating. Have you packed your stuff up at all? Hey, I said 6 seconds. Was I not clear?
You were clear enough.
Then why didn't you run through?
Look, my sleeping bag is very important to me.
Ooh, heavens above. As he starts drawing a new sigil.
So
He does not take small.
So how's your week been?
Bad.
Really now? You want to talk about it?
Yep. Got my spellbook stolen.
I've got some extra food. If you want some food.
That admittedly sounds very good. I have not been able to eat for the past like day and a half.
Well, take some. Take some. I've heard that food makes so many. Yeah, that sounds awful. You know. But that's not my problem. So.
He draws the sigil, but he does take a few minutes to eat breakfast before he actually casts the spell. He's like, okay, that's much better. Are you ready now?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. When I say go, you need to go.
I hear you.
Okay. You see, shouts his magic words, and the circle lights up. He says, go!
And I run through.
Okay, he stands and waits to make sure you run through before you arrive on the other side, and the circle closes. And about 10 minutes later, you arrive at a new circle. Sorry, I had to finish the rest of that food. I haven't eaten for like a day and a half.
Took long enough.
All right. Now, if y'all will follow me, I will lead you to where the council has convened. As he leads you all up a very mountainous trail up. You determined that this is an island.
Okay.
If anyone wants to roll me nature or history, I can tell you the name of the island. But otherwise, y'all are just you're climbing up basically the side of a mountain. There's like a trail with a bunch of switchbacks that y'all are climbing up.
I'll do history.
History?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll.
19.
This island is known as Soul Place Island. This island is famous because nobody's allowed on the island except for the council. They're the only ones allowed here. And those that they inquire or invite. Y'all are in a very, very... Y'all are basically in, like, Area 51 right now.
Wow.
Ezra's like, so, yeah, this weather, am I right?
How about you just lead us to where the council is?
All right. And he gets to a point where y'all are like third of the way up the mountain. There's this giant like cave entrance. He's like, all right, follow me. Be on good behavior. Respect your elders.
Of course.
As he lights up a torch, or he casts a dancing lights cantrip. As he walks into the cave, and leads y'all to this, and as revealed, this cave is a giant hollow chamber that is pretty much the entirety of the mountain is almost entirely hollow. And there are, I wrote up a description using the power of ChatGPT. Now, y'all, all you listeners at home, genuinely, really good for writing descriptions as a DM.
It is.
But you cautiously enter the council chamber. A chill creeps up your spine, suffusing the air with an aura of foreboding. The chamber looms before you, its vast expanse seemingly endless, the ceiling shrouded in darkness far above. Massive pillars rise like sentinels, casting long, ominous shadows that dance across the stone floor. The seats are arranged in a semicircle around a central platform, and are hewn from solid rock, each bearing ancient runes and symbols that seem to pulse with an eerie glow, providing a measure of light. But it's the occupants of these seats that draw your attention. 13 colossal dragons, their scales a mighty menagerie of colors, their eyes gleaming with an unsettling mix of apprehension and dread. As you approach, the very air seems to tremble with the sense of impending doom. The dragons, usually paragons of strength and confidence, now exude an unmistakable aura of fear, their massive forms hunched and tense. Their gazes flicker nervously between each other, as if silently communicating some dire warning that hangs heavy in the air. Despite the grandeur of the chamber, there is no mistaking the palpable sense of unease that permeates every corner. It's as if the very stones themselves hold their breath, waiting for an inevitable catastrophe that looms on the horizon. Mousewell.
Yes.
Roll me a sanity saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh god.
That is a 12.
That's good enough.
Yippee!
You know that you feel a presence. Not in the chamber with you, but to the east and to the south. Where, given Yandras' knowledge of the island, you would know to be where the Sabora Mega Savannah is. Where the majority of demonic influence is held. You feel like one particularly strong focus of energy to the southeast, at like say 80 degrees on a compass.
I'm gonna.
Pyraxis, you do see, sits on one of the seats next to the entrance chamber.
I'm gonna ask them why they called us here.
One of the dragons. Let's see, which one is going to talk? One of the dragons, known as a dragon with these iridescent scales shimmer like an aurora, speaks up. He's in like the center of the room, like a sort of like speaker. And he says, "You have been summoned to this council chamber for interrogation on the dealings you have had with a dragon known as Herondon and or his associates. We want to know every detail of how you came to be in his employ, what you did in his employ, and everything involving him that came after you left his employ. From the start to the end." Start talking.
Yandros, I think this is a great story for you to tell. How about you go first?
Yeah.
So we're in charge of like taking a
For that, we all had another job, if you remember. We did in a flashback. We all went to an old elven ruin.
Yeah.
In search of Charlotte.
Yeah. Okay. So we were in charge of like we were sent to this elven ruins to like look for a crystal that he wanted. And there's this
One of the dragons speaks up and says, "What was the name of the crystal? Do you know of a name, a type of crystal? What did it look like?"
it had black oozing stuff coming out of it. It was in the air in the room that it was in did not feel right.
And it hurt our minds when we went close to it.
Do you know what it was called?
No.
Well, Pyraxis speaks up, says, We are inclined to believe that crystal was a crystal known as Charlotte, or a crystal of which we suspect Heronville, who've been gathered for a long time. Specifically, Charlatan that had been corrupted by diabolic magic. We don't know how much he has, but we know it is a significant supply. And we don't know what he's doing with it. But when he disappeared, so did his shadow. We suspect it has something to do with a spike of energy in his lair. Now, what happened after this?
we were then like charged to bring a scroll of reincarnation to a temple, and someone stole it. Like it was switched for a fake one.
Pyraxis speaks up again and says, he addresses the council, and he says, upon investigation of my agent, I can confirm that no true viable scroll was ever produced. It appears as if the fake was the one provided.
So it wasn't fake.
It was a fake the whole time. He never gave you. There never was a true scroll.
Interesting. I know that we wasted that trip.
It is unfortunate.
Very.
Mousewell, are you good over there?
I'm kind of behind the two of them. You know, not in fear, of course, but just watching it all play out.
And out of character, there's a lot of noise in the background. Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Off. I'll let you continue our story from where I left
Oh,
off.
gee, thanks. Anything else?
That is the dragon. What was his name? That's the head dragon, Zephyrion. Once again, steps up and says, "Is there anything at all involving Heronville or his associates after you came into the employ of Pyraxis?"
Not that I know of.
Anything about his associates?
Well, we might have found his son.
You've encountered his son.
Maybe.
His son has also been missing for some time. Is he still alive? Could he be brought in? His son has also been missing for some time. Is it possible we could bring him in for questioning? Do you know if he's alive?
If I get my names correctly, but I think he might be not alive.
Well, that's unfortunate. Well, we could still get some questioning done with magic. Do you know where the corpse is?
Yeah. Yes.
Paraxis, could you have your errand boy go fetch it for us? Yes, I can. Ezra kind of leans to you and says, "So where was it?"
It was that guy, that was over there.
I'll be back, your majesties. As he leaves the chamber to go draw a new circle, to go back to that hill and run down and get the body and come back. This is good information. Thank you for coming in to question.
Yeah.
However, given that the last people who have any dealings with Heronville are you three, and your not your friend? I don't know who your friend is. This is Pyrax.
Okay.
We're the last mortals Heronville has had any contact with, any interaction with, that we know of. For some time, he has been very isolated in his lair. Well, you three were the first people he had contracted in perhaps a century.
Well,
As such, they are worried he may have some further interest for you. As such, you will be placed under our protection here in this place.
okay.
For how long?
Until Heronville is located.
And
And
do we get more information on this whole thing? Because, like, you brought us in here, interrogated us.
Only that which we deem you are fit to know.
Well,
At this moment. As the tension in the council chamber thickens, a distant rumble interrupts the silence, like the low growl of an approaching storm. Faint at first, but steadily growing louder. The sound of distant drums reverberate the stone walls, accompanied by the rhythmic thud of marching steps. Esoteric chants weave through the air, their words unfamiliar, yet laden with an ominous power that sends shivers down your spine. As one of the dragons puts up a large field of scrying over the island. In the center of the chamber, you see what looks to be an overhead view of the island. Outside, on an island that's otherwise uninhabited, an invasion of demonic forces has begun in earnest. The relentless beat of drums serves as a grim prelude to the impending onslaught, while the steady march of footsteps symbol the advance of an enemy bent on conquest. You see dozens of warships that have run up to the coast. In response to this looming threat, 11 of the 13 dragons abruptly rise from their seats, their massive forms casting imposing shadows as they prepare to take flight and meet the invaders head on. With determined expressions, they depart the chamber, leaving only Pyraxis the Flame Weaver and Zephyrian the Brave standing in silent vigil. As the dragons take their leave, the image of scrying fades, and Pyraxis fixes his intense gaze upon you three, his eyes burning with a fierce determination to defend the chamber at all costs. Zephyrian, himself a majestic drake with iridescent scales that shimmer and change like that of the Northern Lights. Well, what we would call the Northern Lights. You in this world don't really have a concept of an aurora. His wings spread wide in readiness to shield our heroes from any threats that dare to breach the chamber's entrance, which creates a feeling of confidence, somehow, magically, as if you had conquered more terrifying evils countless times before. With the distant sounds of war growing ever closer, the fate of the island hangs in the balance, and the Rat Pack find themselves relying on your wits and your skills, done through weeks of running to keep you all safe. All chaos rages outside the chamber. Pyraxis says, "Prepare to defend yourselves. If the possibility remains that Heronville may be with these forces, in which case we must be prepared to defend this chamber with our lives." Is that understood?
I Think so.
Yes.
Okay. I recommend that if you have any preparations to make, you do so now. So I'm going to set a 5-minute timer for y'all to set all the preparations or traps that you can think of.
First, I'm gonna tell you, Andros. This is like before everything gets so tense. I'm gonna say, "Well, thanks for allowing me to tell that very unfortunate news." Then I'm gonna say, like, "Wait, do you hear those drums?" Then I'm gonna draw my sword.
All right, timer started. What's everyone doing to prepare? You just shout out if you have any spells, any traps, any buffs, area of effects, anything you want to do.
I'm gonna cast.
Um,
I'm gonna cast
What?
Mage Armor.
Okay. Simple enough.
Is it possible I could cast a spell like on the doorway of the chamber?
It is. What spell do you have in mind?
Crown of Madness.
That's clever. Not how that spell works, unfortunately. But you could hold that spell and be ready to cast it at anything that enters the chamber.
Yeah. And I have like my like deck of mini things in one hand, prepared to draw cards.
Okay. All right. Did anyone keep track of what cards were drawn last session?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you take those cards out? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you do have the do you have the names of the cards written, or just
I took them out of the deck.
I didn't know if I gave you a list of the actual names of the cards. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I have the book right here, so
Oh, okay. You're good then.
Yep.
All right, Mousewell. Anything you want to do?
Other than eating a bit of food to prepare, not really.
Okay. Alrighty. As the sound of war drums echo outside of the chamber, you hear the roaring of dragons and the crackling of lightning, the shattering of stone, and you hear a loud thud that shakes the chamber. As if something large fell from the sky.
I'm gonna quickly run over. Is there any pillars around?
It's from outside the chamber, but it echoes in through the long tunnel that acts as the entrance to the chamber. If you want to kind of like peek out, you see the form of a black-scaled dragon that is bloody, and what seems to be its wings have just been cut off mid-flight. And it does not appear to be moving.
Are there any pillars in the area? Like in the... Okay.
Inside the chamber, yes. There are good, I'll say 12 giant pillars
Okay.
in the center of this chamber.
Let's hope that dragon does not...
Each of them like the
Okay.
size of the Empire State Building.
Okay. I'm gonna go run behind a pillar. And while thinking to myself where Ezra has gone. Yeah.
Ezra is not back yet. Yeah. You notice that he seems to be avoiding teleporting in the chamber. You think they're off as a practitioner in the arcane. You have you kind of feel that there's a sort of ward on the chamber, one that likely prevents teleportation magic from within. So wherever he's coming back from, he would have to teleport outside and come back in.
All right. No.
Is there anything else? All right. 5 minutes is up. As Yandros, you hold your spell, aiming at whatever comes through the door. You are valiantly cowering behind a pillar. Mousewell, where are you positioned in the room? Mousewell? Has the curse struck again? The curse of the falling Tesla. The falling dragon! Oh no, it hit her house!
Every story comes to an ending, so for now, we must conclude. Thank you for listening, Sojourners. Your attention will not go unrewarded, and we look forward to continuing this adventure. There are more podcasts to listen to. Go back into the archives and listen to The Blood War, The Bookish and the Brave, or maybe you could check out a one-shot, The Crypts of Azaroom. Find more information about becoming a dungeon master at your table at www.sojournersawake.com. But however you choose to sojourn, as always, may your story continue.